Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans across the country are rejoicing that Uhuru Kenyatta saved the lives of 2 Kenyans who were abducted in Uganda.
We didn't think we were going to come out alive because we were being abducted by the military. We have been kept by the military in Uganda for this, under the Special Forces Command. We're going to release more details to you in a short while.
I know some of you might not be aware of this story here. First, let me give you some history on what has been happening lately in Uganda and Tanzania. In Tanzania, Kenyans have participated in the campaigns there physically and on social media. And most of them were against the current sitting president, Mama Samia Suluhu. But there's a Kenyan who participated literally, physically in the campaigns.
Ni nchi ambayo ukiangalia unasema kwamba Mungu ampe Mama Samia Suluhu maisha marefu. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, ninakuomba hii dua ni maalum ya kwamba Mama Samia Suluhu, kipenzi cha Wakenya pamoja na kipenzi cha Watanzania na Afrika kwa jumla, Mungu mpe maisha marefu.
His name is Kasipul. Now that guy, he has also participated in the campaigns of Museveni in Uganda.
Listen to me very careful. Gen Z, tell them.
General Museveni.
Papa, East Africa, Papa. Where are we? Tell them where we are.
So we are at Mashontos.
Yes.
And we are headed to Koboko.
Yes.
To mobilize votes for General Museveni.
Yes.
2026, 2021.
Yes.
2031, rather.
His Excellency.
General Kaguta Museveni Sabalwanyi Tibohamura.
And he has a lot of support.
Now, as much as a Kenyan represented Kenyans in both Museveni and Samia's campaigns, Kenyans were also well represented in the opposition side, in that we had some activists from the country who literally traveled to Uganda to participate in the campaigns in support of the opposition leader by the name Kyagulanyi, also known as popularly as Bobi Wine.
These videos recorded during Bobi Wine's campaign in Kamuli district, eastern Uganda on Tuesday, clearly captures Free Kenya Movement chairman Bob Njagi on stage alongside Uganda's opposition leader who is seeking to unseat President Yoweri Museveni. In other clips, Njagi is seen listening keenly to Bobi Wine and at times joining his entourage as they traversed rural areas. According to a friend who spoke to us on condition,
he's a youth, and it appears that the leader of those activists is his friend. So he traveled to Uganda to help him in the campaigns. Just as they were about to leave Uganda and come back to the country, Bob Njagi and one of the activists were abducted. Some escaped narrowly, who have come out to narrate very horrible stories. Kenyans were angered about that. Activists, international bodies came out to castigate such kind of an event. And we, as Kenyans, we went ahead to demand for the release of those Kenyans immediately. We even heard Babu Wino speak to Mudavadi directly in Rongo to tell him that to speak to Museveni to release the 2 Kenyans who were abducted there because they did not commit anything wrong. When pressure piled, the government of Uganda, the police came out and said they did not arrest or abduct Bob Njagi and his friend. The military, the same, denied. The government denied. So nobody knew where these people were. Until recently, just after they have been released, we had now Museveni holding an interview, and he admitted they were arrested and punished severely.
We have got 2 Kenyans whom we arrested. They have been with us. I have their names, but I don't remember their names. They came. They were working with Kyagulanyi's group. That they are experts in riots.
Now here is where Uhuru comes in. The release of those Kenyans.
There were a lot of complex negotiations that took place. One of them involved the former president of the Republic of Kenya, the fourth president, and that is Uhuru Kenyatta. And it is out of the negotiations and the discussions that took place at the very highest levels of the two governments, plus the former president, that we have had the two, Bob Njagi and Nick Oyor, return to Kenya in the way that they are.
Bob Njagi, the closest family members, and also the lawyers have come out to state it categorically that they were released after the intervention of Uhuru Kenyatta. He held talks. In fact, across the country, youths were speculating that Uhuru Kenyatta took his phone and called the son to Museveni, Muhoozi, and told him to release the Kenyans back to Kenya. And luckily, as we speak today, those two Kenyans are with their families. Very important. I know they'll come out to speak and probably explain what happened, but the fact is they underwent serious torture in that country. The second thing, Uhuru Kenyatta participated there. The reason as to why this caught my attention is this. Opposition leaders like now Kizza Besigye is in police custody, suffering, seriously appearing not in good condition. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Despite the call from the international community, the calls from the international communities that release him, still he has not been released. Now as we speak today, when we get Kenyans getting abducted, nobody knows where they are, and then they get released after the intervention of Uhuru Kenyatta, we honestly have to rejoice. We have to thank Uhuru Kenyatta on that. We have to. Because it was not automatic they were to come back to the country. They could either be finished or probably they could have been held there for quite some time. These people have been there for 38 days. And allegedly, they were in the fridge, cold rooms, where you are probably left there naked, suffering for 28 days. It is a problem that now is existing within the East African countries. We can see the extrajudicial killings that are going on in Tanzania, probably, yes. Allegedly, many people have really died. And we can also see what happens in Kenya during elections, especially even after the elections from last year to this year. And now in Uganda, you can see the arrest and intimidation of the opposition leaders, where an opposition leader could literally decide to wake up in the morning, go for a rally, but he stopped like, no, don't leave your house, stay in the house. Kizza Besigye leaves his house to go to church. He's told, no, you stay away. Such kind of activities have become very common and normal within the East African community. That is why I still insisted that it was really a great thing to have the two Kenyans released to join back their families. However, there are things that we are able to learn from the event where Uhuru Kenyatta intervened to bring the Kenyans home. Number one, there's no goodwill from the current government in relation to Kenyans who are raising their voices in a positive manner. Because I don't think a sitting president with its entire cabinet plus the foreign affairs minister, why they could really decide to keep quiet or even don't care on what was happening to those Kenyans abroad. Musalia Mudavadi ignored that event, that kind of an issue completely. So Uhuru Kenyatta coming out to speak on behalf of Kenyans to get these people released, that was important. Number two, it's like Uhuru Kenyatta had very strong connections when he was in power and very good relationship with some of these top leaders in various parts of this world. Because as a former president, to pick a call and call these people to engage in a conversation and eventually release them, it was not easy. So therefore, I think strongly that Uhuru Kenyatta has some good relationship with various parts of this continent, which is important for Kenya as well. Because now, through his connections, he was able to get these Kenyans coming back home alive. Another thing I was able to learn is this. Kenyans are really determined to get involved in other people's affairs. Because now you can see, Kenya, we are yet to reach there, but they have still demonstrated their spirit in Uganda to fight for the people of Uganda. which means we are on another level. Also, Kenyans are daring because after seeing what is happening to the opposition leaders, including even the one they went to campaign for, he suffered under Museveni. But still, these Kenyans go there and comfortably walk around in Uganda doing campaigns without any fear that they might be abducted or even get arrested and stay there for a while. So in a nutshell, Kenyans have demonstrated a high level of courage, which really needs to be used in a different way. But I hope come 2027, Kenyans will transform this spirit now to the ballot and ensure that at least Kenya's changed. I don't know what's your take in relation to Uhuru Kenyatta's activity or maybe action, but on the comment section, share with me on what you think and what you know. See you next time for more videos.